What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel! Oh my god. I was watching a Jeffree Star video that he was doing a review on his new makeup palette. If you know anything about Jeffree Star, his makeup is amazing, though. Sometimes he is not that amazing. That's a longer story. But when I was watching it, I noticed the way that I say hi to you guys is the way he says hi to his people.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel!
So, I guess I need to be more enthusiastic and, like, wave my hand. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but wave my hand with the mirror and, you know, just have some oomph to it. So, I'm gonna try harder. I promise. But anyways, that's not what we're here for. We are here to discuss the fact that yesterday, both of the Toms have put out a statement regarding them closing Schwartz and Sandy's. Now, I was going to make a quick video, but like anything Vanderpump, the more you wait, the longer more stuff comes out. So I wanted to make a longer video than planned. That way I can show you all of the receipts, all of the posts, and everything that I've heard and seen regarding the closing of Schwartz and Sandy's. So, buckle up, let's get this party started. And there you go, a little farewell tribute to Schwartz and Sandy's. And a little bit of the cast, too. Especially after the news that also broke right after this, which I started recording this right after I saw the post. And then slowly but surely, then we got statements from Vanderpump Rules cast members about their farewell message, because Bravo and NBC decided to go in a different direction and reboot VPR completely, which, that's their decision, and we'll get into that a little bit later. That's all I'm going to say for right now, because I am going to talk about it, so that's going to be a little bit later on after all of this. But let's get into what Sandoval posted regarding the closing of Schwartz and Sandy's. Now, he had posted an IG statement, and it says, with a heavy heart, we've made the difficult decision to close Schwartz and Sandy's at the end of December. This hasn't been an easy choice for my partners and me, but other priorities and commitments have taken hold. While this business venture has been an incredible stepping stone in my life, one I will always cherish, I look forward to exciting new endeavors. To our incredible staff and everyone who supported us along the way, you deserve the true recognition. I can't thank you enough for your endless commitment to making Schwartz and Sandy's a place of everlasting memories. We'll be hosting a series of events and have availabilities to host others leading up to the closing night. The allure of being associated with reality TV has hidden what is an amazing spot and location in LA locals as well. I highly recommend you check us out, especially if you haven't yet. Let's get together one last time, Sandoval. Now, I don't know about you, but even in my farewell video that I gave to Schwartz and Sandy's, because of his TV reality star fame, that brought a lot of people out there to Schwartz and Sandy's. They got a lot of publicity from Getty, Daily Mail. Like, come on, so this last statement really irks me, because it's like, no, the choices that you made led up to this, and yes, maybe people were very harsh to your business, especially the circumstances. You're somebody that they don't know, and they're trying to ruin your life, and that's not cool in the least bit. They're also fans too, and you've made this allure of yourself for many years on this TV show, and then when you screw up, there are consequences to pay, especially in the public eye. That's just how it works. Do I think your business should have been affected? No, but of course there's going to be blowback because of it. So you do something about it. I mean, he went around touring, and whether he did good or bad, he put himself out there. Why couldn't you do the same for your restaurant? That's just my opinion. But of course, here's Sandoval always having to blame it on somebody else. It's not his fault. It's everybody else's fault. That's just what I got from this whole entire message. Let me know what you guys think about this down below. So, of course, underneath Sandoval's post is a comment from Victoria Lee Robinson, his girlfriend. And Victoria said this: I'm so proud of you. If only you were allowed to properly promote the place on the show as planned. If only someone would have allowed you to have access to the shopping center sign that came with the property so people could see it as a place is in a hidden corner, which I tried to pay for and surprise you with multiple times, but was turned down. I mean, you guys don't even have control over your own Instagram. The list goes on and on. I felt bad from the beginning for the both of you. I love you, and I'm here to support you always. Remember, people don't know what's going on behind closed doors and don't know all the facts. I love you. Well, there is a lot of things being insinuated here. People are speculating this maybe have to do with Greg, but she does also mention the fact that he couldn't promote the place on the show as planned. Excuse me, what do you mean? The restaurant was promoted the whole time on the show, even during BravoCon. I'm sorry it took you forever to open those doors, and then when the doors were open, you decided to do something scandalous with your girlfriend's friend, aka your friend too, but like, you know what I mean? Like, that's no one's fault but your own. But yes, the whole buying of the sign and putting it up in the plaza parking lot kind of a thing, like, maybe that has to do with Greg. Maybe Greg didn't want the show promoted on the show. He has his reasons. We will have to wait and see on some of these things. I mean, for all we know, she could be talking about Lisa Vanderpump as well, especially with the whole, like, not being able to promote it on the show the way they planned, or, you know what I mean? These are just what people are saying and what I'm thinking as well. I think it has something to do with, like, Bravo and NBC itself and Greg as well, but there's also another silent partner in the deal. It could be about that guy as well. But, you know, that's Victoria, like, having to have the opinion of opinions and letting us have some tea. And then, of course, Sandoval says, at Victoria Lee Robinson, thanks. So, babe, loving lockdown with you, laughing emoji, which is towards Lala Kent's statement that she made on Watch What Happens Live, which, you know, I would play for you, but Watch What Happens Live does not like when I play even a 3-second clip for you guys, unless I put it on a short. But anyways, this was not how Lala meant what she said, that Victoria had Sandoval on lockdown. Not literally, you dumb idiot. She meant, like, Victoria knows your every single move, every single thing that you do, every single thing that you're gonna say, because she has you on lock. It's a freaking statement. Like, you've never heard the quote, like, she got you on lock, bro? That's what Lala meant. Not actual lockdown. Jeez. These people take things so literally. Now, there were other comments underneath this that were important for you guys to see. Like this one from Kristen, not Kristen Doute, but a fan named Kristen, or someone that maybe knows them, says to Victoria Lee Robinson, everyone wants to blame Sandoval on this, but anyone who knows the truth knows Greg has been a nightmare since the jump. There you go. I said it so you didn't have to. Laugh out loud. Now, Victoria does reply, but this isn't to Kristen, this is to Sandoval. And she puts, laughing my ass off. Dead emoji. Laughing, laughing, laughing. And then we have this person that is replying to Kristen, and it says, literally, wasn't his wife assaulting people, ? And then the last comment says, there's always more to the story. It's a shame it has to close because they worked so hard. Hopefully it picks up or a miracle happens. Yes, Greg was a nightmare from the jump. We all saw it. I'm questioning, though, the assaulting people comment. This is something I'll have to do some research on and look for us. Was Greg's wife assaulting people? Interesting. Because that would be a shame. That would be a real big shame and could, yes, potentially put any business Greg has down the drain. And with the last comment, I mean, he's going to need a miracle to keep these doors open. I know it costs a lot of money for this restaurant to stay open, let alone like the rent fee and all of that. So I can only imagine with Vanderpump not coming back for a new season that, like, that's a money loss for Sandoval to put towards different endeavors, like i.e. the restaurant. So he definitely needs a miracle for sure. So I investigated that question about, didn't Greg's wife assault somebody? Well, this is what actually happened. So that way we can kind of clear the air on this. Because it was quite interesting that somebody knew something about this and I hadn't heard about this. So, like we already knew, when Sandoval happened, Tom was asked to take a step back from the bar and all of that because of everything that had happened. And then that's when Greg made the call about not filming there, which I can totally understand why. I mean, even Tom was getting lots of hateful messages on their Instagram. It wasn't just Schwartz and Sandy's. Now, after that, this is where Greg's wife was caught out. She was walking by the Scientology Center, which, if you know anything about the Scientology Center in LA and Hollywood, they have a lot of protesters that are out there, you know, protesting Scientology. There's a lot of social influencers as well, which, listen, I get it. Scientology, in my opinion, is, from what it seems, very much not for me. I'll say it that way. But there's a lot of controversy behind Scientology and different things. And a lot of these influencers stand outside the Scientology Center and they talk to people going by and they kind of, you know, sometimes cause a little bit of a ruckus. Sometimes they do absolutely nothing and then they get attacked by people from the Scientology Center and then somehow they get arrested. There's a lot to this, and I'm not going to get into the Scientology portion of this, but Greg's wife gets out of an Uber that just so happens to drop her off in front of the Scientology Center, where this TikToker, Mindy Wilkins, tried to talk to her. I have the video, so we can all take a look. But from what we can see, Greg's wife kind of like pushes the camera, so they consider that an attack on Mindy. But the police saw the whole incident, and they did nothing. So then Mindy went down to the police station to file a report, and they gave her a really hard time about it. So let's take a quick look at the TikTok. It'll explain that, but it's also some interesting news that I did not realize happened in February, and we can all see it together. And I also want to point out real quick, Jolene Ray is Greg's wife, and she was or is still a comedian, so just keep that in consideration as well. That way you have all the facts on the matter.
This is not a music event. Are you here for the music event? Oh, you're already Scientologist, that's why. Hi, can someone screenshot this woman? You have a family out there who's probably worried about you. This is not a true organization that's built on anything but...
I'm gonna just tell you,
yeah.
Wasting your time. My Uber couldn't get me home.
Right. Oh, excuse me.
You guys, she attacked me! This woman attacked me! You guys!
Her. We need her. We need her information.
You just attacked her right now.
Mindy.
It's on camera.
Mindy, go. Mindy. She attacked. Okay. She attacked her.
Just now, she attacked me!
Come here, Mindy, come here. No, don't let her go, sir. She
You
just...
guys
Excuse me.
attacked me!
She hit her.
I'm not doing anything right now. I'm not doing anything right now.
Okay, but this is important too.
All right, then I'll...
Thanks for being in here with me. Thanks for being in here with me, guys. Everyone's here, but they're out on the street, and it's really cold for them out there. I feel bad that they're out there. They're here for support for me because I'm scared to be alone.
She got assaulted.
Oh, do I need something? I'm waiting in line, yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay, yeah, I thought I was waiting for this officer. So I got assaulted today, and the one was brought in, and so...
Put down your stuff, and I can take the crime report with you. You want to have a seat? We'll do that.
I'm sorry?
Take any type of crime reports or do an investigation.
No, the report's already done. We just want to...
Okay, what's your question?
Well, she's talking to
Has
you,
she
but
been-
you were interrupting her.
No, she's here for support.
I'm here for her support, sir.
You can have a seat and you can take order from over there. What are you here for?
I'm here because I was
Can I stay
assaulted.
right here?
No, you're interrupting.
I'm not. You interrupting
I'm hard
me.
of hearing, and you keep talking, which means she's going to keep repeating, which means you're interrupting
Okay,
her.
you're being
She's
like
here.
rude,
She has a
though.
lawful reason to be here. I need to hear directly from her. You can have a seat. We can deal with that.
I can stay right here,
Have
right?
a seat. Go ahead.
This is so rude. I can still... Speak a little louder than me.
I have no idea about your report. We deal with confidential reports, so as a matter of practice, moving forward, we don't have anybody come on up here. I already told you, ma'am, if you're going to keep reporting and keep your thing, you need to leave the station.
Sir, it's my
Right now, I'm doing an investigation right now. You're impeding the investigation. I'm giving you a 148
I'm not
lawful.
saying anything. I'm just sitting here.
Listen to what I'm saying right now. This is how it's going to work. Right now, I'm doing a lawful investigation. She said she's a victim of a crime. I repeated to you multiple times to turn off the camera, step outside. If you do not, you'll be subject to 148 arrest. You need to leave right now. Walk out.
No, Solomon's good. He's not doing anything wrong.
Anybody's filming anything right there? From right now, we're going to be making arrests. So we're going to give a lawful warning. You can let anybody else know if you have a lawful.
I'm not in touch with.
I understand. I'm just letting you know.
I'm just an independent person.
So far. I'm just letting you know. If you have a reason to be here, no problem. We'll always be able to help you. Everything is being recorded right now. We have to give a lawful warning, and then we're going to affect the list. So
okay.
If you live stream, and we're going to go around from that point right there. We have people that monitor that kind of stuff, and then we'll be doing reports on it.
Okay, sir. Let me.
Live streaming right now?
No, I'm about to turn it off. Yeah.
Do me a favor. Put that over there.
Wait, here. I'm gonna.
Now, I'm not saying what she did was right at all. She could have easily explained this to the woman, though. I get, like, Mindy came off very aggressive. They do this. They come off aggressive, and this is why they sometimes cause a ruckus, like I said. But she easily could have said, you're wasting your time. My Uber dropped me off in front of, here, and I'm walking wherever I'm going. I'm not Scientologist. You don't need to preach to me. That's it. She didn't then need to slap the camera out of her hand. I understand, Mindy also said, like, screenshot her. She's Scientologist. That's not right to do either. She was making an assumption because she got dropped off in front of the Scientology Center that she was a Scientologist. That is wrong. That's when you make an ass out of you and me because you're making an assumption. The cops clearly deal with this all the time. It is something that I know because I see it all the time on different YouTube channels, on TikTok, everywhere, that there has been bigger movements and protests in front of the Scientology Center, especially with influencers and people live streaming for their safety, because people have, yes, like I said, been attacked for no reason at all, but standing outside quietly. But then you have people like this where it's kind of hard to say that they were being quiet the whole time and peacefully protesting when you have some protesters that go above and beyond. And Mindy has her own reputation. You can check her out on TikTok. She hangs out of car windows and screams about Scientology. Like, that's just who she is. But the point being is we learned something from this comment that we were not aware of, or you might have been aware of. I was not. And I think it just so happened with everything that was going on, with the season starting and all of that, that it might have been overlooked or like something that wasn't reported. I literally only found one article on this whole thing. But I do thank the commenter for making us aware of the situation, though I don't believe this is one of the reasons why Schwartz and Sandy's is closing their doors. And also with the commenter, she, or they, I should say, insinuated people, which is usually multiple. From what I can tell, this was a one incident kind of a deal with a person, aka Mindy Wilkins, Willen. I want to say Wilkins for some reasons. Willen, the TikToker. And, wrong place, wrong time, in my opinion. But I was very interested in wanting to know more because I knew a lot about what was going on with, the Scientology and the protests and social media and influencers standing out front, all of that good stuff. So I learned something new, and I hope you guys did too. And I want to know your thoughts and opinions on all of this down below. What do you think about this incident? Now, here are a couple other comments that will kind of give us more to the story. This one, I could not find anywhere what Katie had to say, though Victoria did reply to her. There has been a lot of comments deleted, though I don't understand why this would be one. But Victoria says, Katie, it's funny you say that because from my understanding, the most profitable months for Schwartz and Sandy's that they have ever experienced were directly after the scandal. Unfortunately. How is that unfortunately? Because that just means that the scandal brought in business. Now, this one from Bruiser Bites says, Victoria, is she talking about LVP or Greg or question mark? Which Victoria responds back, not Bravo or LVP. So when she was talking about the person that was kind of hurting the business, it wasn't LVP or Bravo. So was it Greg? Because she didn't name Greg. which they then responded back to Victoria saying, "Thank you for responding. Glad it's not LVP because I love her and it seems she's been very supportive in my opinion." And I agree with that statement. Now, there were a lot of other replies. I'm not going to go read them all for you guys, but I will put 2 slides of the ones that stood out the most. So take the time to pause and read the next 2 slides. So real quick, before we move on to, of course, Tom Schwartz's post regarding Schwartz and Sandy's, I did see this comment right here that said, "I didn't know eviction notices were the same as choosing to close, but best of luck. I will look into this for us," because clearly eviction notices are also posted on court websites. So definitely will check that out for us. So now on to Tom Schwartz's post. His post says this: "There's no easy way to say this, but after careful consideration, Greg, Tom, and I made the decision to close Schwartz and Sandy's by the end of this year. This was not an easy conclusion. So this is our farewell tour. Let Tom and I host your holiday parties, birthdays, even a funeral for your lizard, RIP dog. It's a celebration so many of us working here have poured our hearts into over the last few years. Let's end this era on a high note and come on by. Bring your friends, toast to the upcoming holidays, and let's manifest together a kick-ass new year. There's some peace in knowing I gave my absolute all into SNS, fully committed with every fiber in my being. To all the Patreons who came in and supported us, showed me love every single night I was in there. You kept me going through some of the hardest times. We got to celebrate so many meaningful moments, birthdays, honeymoons, promotional events, the list goes on. Just know we are so grateful. Sharing your magic with us has been a true honor. To our incredible staff, who are like family to us, our friends, and the most fans who have showed your support, we are forever indebted to you. Franklin Village is a magical place. Much love, Tom." Well, I'll say this. That is how you give a farewell message to you closing a restaurant. You want to invite these people there for that last time and leave it on a high note. And notice also that it says careful consideration with Greg, Tom, and I. So obviously Greg had to be a part of this decision-making process. And unlike Tom Sandoval, he's not putting the blame onto Greg per se. And I shouldn't even say Tom because it was Victoria that implied it. So as you can see, along with Schwartz's other main picture, which was his statement, he also provided several other pictures and videos. These are kind of highlighting what the restaurant looks right now during the holiday season. Pretty much just showcasing it so people can see what maybe they can expect if they do want to plan an event or something along those lines. A picture of the main front area. Again, the seating area in the restaurant. I think they did a beautiful job decorating. Then he has this beautiful artwork. I love it. The main sign highlighted outside where you can sit and take a photo. Of course, the bar area. More of the seating area and tables. I love that starry night sky that they have. Then we have a picture of the Toms and somebody, I'm not sure who. And then this is a video from Cheers, the TV show, and I'm assuming this is what Schwartz feels like it's like giving up his bar and it's final hurrah kind of a feeling.
I'm the luckiest son of a bitch on earth.
Then some pictures of random girls outside in front of the sign. Schwartz in the mirror. Then their little merch knick-knack cabinet area. A sweater-like design that says welcome to Schwartz and Sandy's. For whatever reason, though, Schwartz is messed up. You know I had to point that out. And of course, the famous Schwartz and Sandy sign. Now, along with his farewell post, he added a caption on the side, which says, "Well, shit guys, sad as hell to post this. I'll do a more sentimental post down the road. Just want to keep it upbeat and throw some parties to close out the year. Let me and Tom Sandoval host your events as we begin our farewell tour. I'm going to be bold and leave the comments on. Breathe X Reboot. I have a cold Coors Light and a public sub as I type this in Florida. We are gonna finish fun. Book your events for our last hurrah." And then he puts info at schwartzendsandys.com, which is the email, and the tag for the bar. And as you can see here, you can see some comments left. Josh Haltman, Kristen Doute, Brittany, Not Skinny but Not Fat podcast. Lots of people just wishing him the best and saying that they're proud of him and just keep on going strong. There was also posts from Vanderpump Rules Party. They're a great fan Instagram page to follow. We have Scheana, we have Johnny Bananas, we have Zack Wickham. I mean, so many people just showing their love and support to Schwartz. We did not see a lot of this from Sandoval, just Schwartz. I want to keep that in mind for you guys. Here are some more from Bravo vs. Everybody, Mr. Jax Taylor himself, and just then people that are fans, like I said, wishing him all the best and saying that they love him, that he did great, and this is just the next stepping stone to something better in his future. Here are just a couple more comments. Mercedes, Jack City Studio. You know he had to get his bar up on there. Courtney Revolution. If you don't know who Courtney Revolution is, he is an amazing influencer, but he's also been on a couple TV shows. Love it that he posted. Draw Me Bitch. Oh my God, they make the best coloring books and the funniest memes for Bravo, especially Vanderpump. Bravo Rex, that's another great Bravo Instagram to go follow. And I already know that you guys are going to ask, did Katie post? Yes, Katie did make a post on this, and she wrote, "I have an idea. It rhymes with Katie Maloney's Bar and Grill. Just kidding. I'm looking forward to what's next for you." Which, as you can see, the fans ate that alive, and they're telling her to open another something about her. Then you have this mean guy over here saying, "Girl, worry about your restaurant. You can't even afford to pay for workers or get the trademark." The trademark is a whole legal issue. It's not that she could not pay for the trademark. It's a whole legal issue because at that point, Penny thought she was going to be a part of it. She got it for them, thinking that she was going to be still part of the business. Things didn't work out. Of course, she holds that trademark, so they have to buy that from her. So that's why they're going through a legal battle. People don't know about things when they write comments like that. And then you have other people, like I said, yeah, that would be popular. People laughing at it, slay, all of that great stuff. And just a couple other replies under Katie's. This one saying, "Haha, yes, we love you, Katie. You are the queen. Way misunderstood because I generally know you want to see him win." And I do believe that as well. And spoken like a true queen who is a way better person than I am. And someone else just telling her to do it. And of course, Kyle Cook had to show his support to his buddy, saying, "You gave it your all, something to be proud of. Sometimes the stars don't align and the journey is full of learning lessons, but the biggest regrets of all would have been not trying it in the first place. Hats off to you guys for putting your blood, sweat, and tears into something and actually running your own business. Where there's no risk, there's no reward. Love ya, buddy. I would say that Schwartz put a lot more of his blood, sweat, and tears into this, but that's just my opinion. I mean, he's friends with both of them, so, you know, he has to give them both credit. But funny how he put this on Schwartz's, but he didn't put anything on Sandoval's. Just saying. And like I did for Sandoval, I'm going to put up some other replies that I thought were interesting for you guys to pause and read the next 2 slides.
Schwartz and Sandy's is doing.
I don't know. I just hear from the grapevine that it's a ghost town.
Schwartz and Sandy's.
Schwartz and Sandy's.
Schwartz and Sandy's.
Schwartz and Sandy's.
Schwartz and Sandy's. Schwartz and Sandy's.
Schwartz and Sandy's. It is the end of an era for Schwartz and Sandy's.
Schwartz and Sandy's will be no more.
But I can't help but think maybe Katie Maloney was right all along.
I exhausted my soul for Schwartz and Sandy's. I put everything I had in there.
And it nearly broke you, and it nearly broke me.
It broke me at every...
And now to think this place could fall apart because of Tom's affair. It's soul crushing.
Disgusting.
You're disgusting.
You're disgusting.
I'm sorry.
This is your future, Raquel. I want you to know.
You're
You're
gonna lose
to you like this too.
All right.
Just so you know.
Okay. All right, Raquel.
You got a little bit of money, a little bar, a little band.
I just don't want you to ever think that I chose this place over you. I didn't. I mean,
Well, I feel like you chose a lot over me.
just something about her.
So that is pretty much it for Schwartz and Sandy's. I did quickly look up on the court's website to see if there's any evictions. And as of right now, there is nothing coming up under Thomas Schwartz or Thomas Sandoval for any evictions, though I am going to still look a little further and see what I can find. If I do find anything, you know I will be here making a video for you all. So now we're going to move on to some other What's Up with Vanderpump news. This happened on the 14th of November, where Brandi Glanville decided that she was going to post on her stories breaking news. Pump Rules star Beau reveals him and Stassi are taking a break. Well, thankfully, Bravo celebrities posted this, saying in their little caption area too, "Laughing my ass off, Brandi Glanville is at it again with the hard-hitting clickbait journalism." So this is all clickbait. They are not splitting up, and it's been confirmed already by Stassi herself that this was all a made-up story by a wannabe ex-Real Housewife. I will say, though, some of these comments were pretty harsh towards Stassi, and in my opinion, Beau and Stassi are like a match made in heaven. Like, he balances her out, and she kind of balances him out. I only want the best for any of these couples on Bravo, and for people to be like cheering on their demise was very sad to see, especially Beau and Stassi. I think they're probably the best match out of all the Vanderpump couples, in my opinion, and will probably make it last for the long haul, as I knock on wood, because so far it's not looking too good with all of them. I do also want to point out Columbia Mom 2015's comment, which was on the Bravo celebs. They said they are not. Stassi just posted them together an hour ago, and this is where the proof came in that Brandi was a lying sack of shit, like she always is. She does things for the clicks, for the money, and someone I know commented also about, like, does she make money by selling these kind of weird storylines? And yes, they can make money by selling this information, but it's literally like pennies on the click for things like this. And if it's not factual, you're not going to make shit either. But I mainly wanted to put this out so that way, one, we can get a little bit of an update on Stassi. I know her show Stassi Says will be coming out on Hulu. I'm excited for that. We definitely will be talking about that. And, you know, for somebody that got canceled off of Vanderpump, she's really making a name for herself. And I'm proud of her. And I don't care what anyone says. And honestly, I think Brandi wishes that she could have some of the opportunities that Stassi has. Let's just be real. But if any of you guys did see this headline, just know it's not real. They're not breaking up. They are still happily together. And that's all we can wish for anybody. So I want to move on to our girl Ariana, which this is going to then progress into the farewell goodbye of the VPR cast and many, many years celebrating with them. Ariana, though, has been busy at work. She has not stopped. She has proven all these people wrong, especially Mr. Sandoval himself, saying that she's so lazy. She does nothing. Oh, yeah? So where we left off talking about what Ariana and even Katie was doing was their grand opening of Something About Her on May 21st. But something I didn't talk about was that she actually had a first collaboration with DSW May 9th, which is my birthday, in Beverly Hills, where Dana and Katie attended and a couple other of her friends, and it was quite the party. I will say, too, with this collab, there was a lot of heels, and I'm not too much of a heel person unless I really have to. So there wasn't anything that really appetized me shoe-wise, though there were a lot of amazing shoes in this collab. And, of course, she included handbags as well in this collab, which the handbags were so cute for summer. So after they opened up Something About Her on the 21st of May, she then started her Love Island Season 6 filming on June 11th, which I'm going to take a minute to highlight all of her amazing looks on Love Island. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I love fashion, and I think that Ariana has really stepped up her fashion game, especially with Love Island. Then after she did Love Island, she then proceeded to do her second time doing Chicago in New York City because they wanted her back. She did such an amazing job the first time that they wanted her back a second time. Which I love this for her because then she's closer to Daniel and he was there supporting her. Melissa McCarthy was there supporting her. It was amazing. Of course, she did Watch What Happens Live on August 7th with Sarah looking fly. Then they had the Love Island reunion on August 14th, which she then had a little bit of a break. I think she was doing Chicago during that point too. But she then attended the Emmys with Katie Maloney on September 7th. Both of them looked amazing. Now, there's a lot of post parties for the Emmys, and I realized that when I was looking at this. So she had gone to plenty of Emmy parties. One being the Garish 2024 Emmy party at Jupiter Lounge and Garden on September 12th. Then the Walt Disney Company post-Emmy celebration on September 15th, which I swear she looks like a princess here. Now, following that, she did DirecTV's Get Real with People in Entertainment weekly on September 26th with Ezra Sosa from Dancing with the Stars. This little outfit, oh my God, it just shows all of the right curves, her butt cheeks, amazing. I think it's very fashion forward and she's hot. Why not? Then on November 1st, we got the second DSW collab with Ariana, which I absolutely love the photo shoot that they did and her throwing the roses, kind of like her throwing the drink for her book, but much better. Then on the 18th, they did the DSW photo call and press shoot. I do love the shoes in this collection. These are more my style, especially like the UGG looking slip-on clogs. Love those and love a good boot. And there's lots of good boots in this collection. And then the next day was the DSW collab party in NYC. She was dressed like a beautiful flower in the bloom. Of course, Daniel was there supporting her, along with her best friend Brad, and among many others like Serena Kerrigan, Charity Lawson, Uba from The Real Housewives of New York, Jessica Wang, Remy Jo, and just so many more. This looked like an awesome party. They looked like they had a lot of fun, and we can see more of the shoes. She even has sneakers in this collection. That is so awesome. But this isn't it for Ariana. She is still going. We then go to November 26th, which is the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade rehearsals, which Ariana was a part of. I wish I could play you guys the music, but we'll probably get a copyright claim for that. So unfortunately, I can't do that. But you can check out Bravo, Bravo, Bravo Brie, where you can see this and much more Vanderpump stuff. But I can play you her interview, so let's check it out.
Finally, what's your favorite thing about Thanksgiving?
Eating. Eating and family.
Do you have a specific dish that you make or a specific dish that you like to eat?
I love mashed potatoes. I know that's a crowd pleaser, right? But I love mashed potatoes with a lot of garlic, and I don't like them to be too smooth. I kind of like them to have a little bit of chunkiness to them.
You know what I mean?
Now, also on November 26th was Ariana's goodbye post on Instagram to Vanderpump Rules. And because I don't want to go out of order, this is the timeline. Ariana writes, Vanderpump Rules, you will forever be that girl. I was up till 4 a.m. looking for all the right pictures and the right words, but there's no post or caption that could ever encapsulate everything. I'm forever grateful to have been a part of such an incredible cultural phenomenon. Thank you, Bravo TV, Lisa Vanderpump, Evolution USA, for every experience over the last 10 plus years. Thank you to every single cast member, producer, and our showrunners. Seeing you guys every summer was like coming home to see family. That I will miss very much, but you have my number, so just text me. Thank you especially to the fans. You've been the constant over the last decade. Your love and support is what I'll miss the most about it ending. You made this show what it is. To the fans who have shown up for us, old and new, it's all because of you that we are here. I'm feeling at peace with closing this chapter, and I'm excited for everything that is to come. I don't know that these were the best days of our lives, but they were definitely something special. She also posted 2 videos that I'm going to play for you guys right now.
Oh.
You're shooting us, shooting you, shooting us, shooting you.
It's us in the mirror. It's all of us. Hi.
The lashes are off, and it is a wrap. Vanderpump Rules interviews, season 6. Woo, 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 woo.
And of course, she moved right on from that to the Macy's Day Parade, where she killed it. Now, there was a lot of different talk on Reddit, which we'll go over after this, but I'm hoping that they don't flag this performance. I have sped it up just so we can check it out. So here it is. If it has different music, I'm sorry. They copyrighted me and I had to change it. So fingers crossed they don't do that.
Fear we're facing a problem. You love me no longer. I know, and maybe there is nothing that I can do to make you blue. Mama tells me I shouldn't bother, that I ought to stick to another man, a man who surely deserves me, but I think you do. So I cry, I pray, and I beg. Love me, love me.
Wow. Listen, that's 90s jams right there. That's in my wheelhouse.
Now, what I found very interesting about the Macy's Day performance was that on Reddit, someone posted, was Ariana's Macy's Day performance a success? So many haters on here talking shit about Ariana's Macy's Day performance. No one knew who she was. She's a joke. Can't wait for her to be over, etc. So I checked out the numbers on Remaster Kingdom on YouTube, where all the videos of the performances are. Now, if we look, Chloe Bailey, 1.1k views, 11 comments. Idina, 2.6k views, 4 comments. Jimmy Fallon, 3.3k views, 12 comments. T-Pain, 8k views, 6 comments. But if we already look at the bottom, where Ariana is, Ariana Madix, 21k views and 53 comments. And then they put, can't debate that our girl brings engagement. In this case, she got double the engagement of anyone else they hired. That's what networks care about. She's not going anywhere for a while. Which I could not agree more with this commenter. And she's still not done. After that, on December 3rd, she was at the Wraps 2024 Raps Woman Power Woman Summit. And she looked incredible. Then the next day, on December 4th, she was at the Hollywood Reporter Women in Entertainment 2024. She also did some interviews there, so I want to take a look at those really quick.
I feel like I'm coming into a phase of my life where I'm finally in control of my own destiny, and that feels really, really good.
Well, of course, the big news was Vanderpump Rules, the cast. We're changing it up. We're switching it up. What were your thoughts when you heard that?
I mean, I think it makes sense. I think when you look at where the show started and where it ended up at the end of last season, it really felt like that was a good choice for them to make. And, I'm relieved that, we've been having some conversations, behind the scenes, and it's nice for the fans to be able to know like what's coming, because I think a lot of people were unsure because nothing had been said. And so it is a bit of a relief that it's all out there. Yeah.
Any more Love Island in your life?
I sure hope so.
True, you're not returning.
Well, no one's returning.
No
one's returning.
No little cameos, no pop-ins.
But we do, Katie Maloney and I do own Something About Her sandwich shop 2 doors down from SUR. If they start filming and they need to have an argument and they want to have it over a sandwich, they are welcome to argue over our sandwiches.
They can come and argue at your place.
Yes.
Are you disappointed to not be going back?
Oh no, I'm feeling great. Yeah.
So though we might not be seeing Ariana anymore on VPR, we will be getting to see Ariana on our TVs because she will be a guest on the Hulu show Will Trent Season 3. And technically, they did say she was the permanent host for Love Island, though in this interview, she said, we'll see. I believe they're definitely going to have her back. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. But I'm all for Ariana. I believe she will have a career that's larger than life, and we will see what happens with her and her many ventures to come. Now, I do want to make a comment, though, about what she said. She said nobody will be on the new VPR that is from the old cast. That is very true, except I did see this interview from Peter, and I want you guys to check it out.
Breaking news, a whole new cast for season 12 of Vanderpump Rules. What do you think about that?
Well, what I'll say is this. I'm very grateful for all the time that I spent with everybody on the show for 10 seasons. 10 seasons, that's a lot of seasons. That's a lot of television. That's a lot of seasons, yeah. So, I'm grateful for what we had together for those 10 years, those 10 seasons. And, I don't think it's going to be an entirely new cast. Okay. I think you're going to see a familiar face.
Okay, who's a familiar face? I heard the entire cast was being replaced, so who's still going to be there? Are you not able to tell us?
You never know. It might be yours truly.
She wants to picture with you.
It might be yours truly. You never know.
So you're still going to be on the new season?
Well, no. I'm still managing this place. Okay. So that's where I'm going right now.
Well, I got to ask, I feel like the entire cast has just been so casual about, they've, kind of accepted that they won't be returning to the new season. But do you think that everybody's actually chill about it, or do you think that,
you know what? You know what's interesting? I haven't gauged or talked to anybody about that. So I'll have to, I've been so busy with my own work and my own, everything that I've been working on. Oh, I'm still here. I'm still at SUR.
I want to just flat out ask you, will we see you on the new one?
We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to tease it. We'll see. That's why I said there's going to be an entirely somewhat new cast, but there might be a familiar face.
Well, we might be seeing a familiar face on Vanderpump Rules. Peter does make a solid point. He is the manager of the restaurant. They will be filming there with a new cast. I have this from Bravo Celebrities, where they have a snapshot saying, filming in the back alley at SUR. New cast? ? Now, this was before they announced that it was going to be an entirely new cast. This was on November 20th. And in their caption, it says, do you think that the new cast will bring it like the OGs? And that's a great question. Do you guys think that this new cast will bring it like the OGs did? Let me know down below. And let me know what you think about seeing Peter. I think having at least one familiar face besides Lisa Vanderpump, obviously, will be nice. Now, Bravo Celebrities also got this post from Jo. And Jo says, I know a lot of the people who work at SUR. Let me know if you need kindness or support at any point during filming. Heart. Oh, Jo, I really don't think they need your support. But I also have to give a shout out to my girl, Ann Graham. She's right there in the comments, the one that I hearted. She wrote, Lisa needs an RO on this grade 1 leech. And I couldn't agree more. And I will link Ann's channel down below. Check her out. She's here on YouTube. She's amazing. She's a good friend of mine, and I love her dearly. Now, up next on our Wheel of Goodbye posts for Vanderpump Rules cast is, of course, Lala Kent. She put out this post with a lot of pictures and videos, and it says, "Where to begin? I was a young girl from Salt Lake City who made her way to LA. I would introduce myself as Lauren, but because my childhood best friend referred to me as Lala, my nickname quickly stuck. Sir was a place that became home. I found myself not only sipping on vodka sodas there, but behind a hostess stand. It still, to this day, is the most intimidating job I've ever had. A short time later, the opportunity to be on a show called Vanderpump Rules landed in front of me. I have such mixed feelings right now. It's no secret, I do not like change. This is the exception. I want to say thank you for rocking with us for so many years. This show changed my whole life. I'm unbelievably grateful for every moment. I'm unbelievably grateful for Bravo, for NBCU, for our crew, the entire cast, and most importantly, all of you. We rocked this bitch until the wheels fell off. And even though some of you guys have your feelings about Lala, which I completely understand and I completely get, she was a predominant member of this cast. She brought us the tea, the drama, all of that and more. She was very outspoken and she did the damn thing. So I can't wait to see what's next for her. I know she's been up to a lot of amazing things, but before we get into that, let's just take a look at the videos that she posted in her goodbye message.
Food. Kristen has it. She's doing it now, though, right?
Are you essentially?
I only got Katie, Stassi, Schwartz, and Peter. So.
We're gonna try to. We want to see if you guys will do a date. Oh, excellent.
So just like Ariana, we will still be seeing Lala on our TVs, whether it's her as a guest on The Valley, or if you haven't already checked it out, she is one of the celebrities on Are You Smarter Than a Celebrity on Amazon Prime, and her Mama Still Got It returned as of December 3rd, which I will be bringing all of those episodes here to my channel like I did last time, so stay tuned for that as well. Which I think it's a great time to show you a sneak peek of what's coming up on Mama Still Got It, so you guys can, you know, see the trailer of what will be here on my channel very, very soon. And what you all can look forward to. So let's take a look at that before we move on to the next VPR Goodbye Wheel of Fortune.
Let's do this thing! Sometimes you just gotta listen to your mama.
You still got it. Mama still got it.
I just want you to kind of help me get my groove back. A brand new Mama Still Got It on Amazon Live.
Now, I need to go back to Jo really quick. Though Jo was only really on one season, she probably had the longest goodbye post. Not as many photos as the other cast, clearly, because she hasn't been on the show, 11 seasons. But her post was very long and had a lot to say. And I want to look over that with you guys really quick before we move on to the next goodbye post. So Jo says, shout out to my Vanderpump squad who welcomed me, saw through the drama, and recognized my heart. I tried to tag everyone, yet I got cut off because there are too many of you to tag. To the hat police who got their panties in a twist over my backwards cap. Sorry, not sorry, my look is staying. Huh, interesting, Jo. To the glam squad enthusiasts thinking I need a makeover, I'll keep rolling out of bed looking exactly like me. To the keyboard warriors who told me to end my life, newsflash, I'm still here, rainbow. And to the insert here, F you, I've got prayers that are more powerful than your threats. Loving me isn't rocket science. Well, hot diggity dog. Okay, it continues. So, heart face emoji. Shout out to the legends who've been riding this wild roller coaster with me since day one. Literally, since day one of season 11. Who said, yup, I'm here for the entire Jo vibe. And to everyone who gets that my personality isn't wacky, it's just a 5-star experience to being fucking myself. Period. On international TV. You try it. Like, try being on TV, aka massive reality show. Oh my God, we should all feel your victim mentality, Jo. But I see you kiddos, my faves, and no, you're not alone. I survived something pretty intense, and I came out smiling. I think that's called being balanced, normal, and kind. P.S. I guess I was the first to cross my legs during season 11 or any season of #VPR or any Bravo show in a chair during an interview. Confession on Bravo. I'll take that as a compliment. And shout out to hairstylists who wear hats after a long day of doing hair. And shout out to someone I miss who broke my heart, but still wish him the best. Alien. Ape emoji. Okay, so that was from Jo, guys. I mean, very much tried to read it like she put it. She still seems to be mad at the people that made statements about her wearing a hat. She's still mad at the glam squad. And I feel like she's just still all over the place. Which, the next time we go live, I found a hidden gem on Reality Ops of a live that Jo did where she completely freaked the F out, and I had never seen it before. Definitely something we gotta check out. But that's Jo's post. Seems very much still like Jo. And yeah, tell me what you think down below. Now, up next is Katie Maloney. Now, though she did not put a post out on Instagram, she did talk about this on her podcast, which I am going to cover. I am planning on working on that with a lot of other new exciting things for you guys after this video. This video has been taking me a long time because just more and more news keeps popping out. But anyways, Katie was not planning on returning for season 12 if there was going to be a season 12. And I want you guys to take a listen real quick, just a little listen on what she had to say about it on her podcast.
People know Vanderpump Rules. Vanderpump Rules, as we've known it, is going to be no longer. They announced last Tuesday that they're going to be rebooting it with an entirely new cast for season 12. And none of us OGs will be returning.
Walk us through it. How are you feeling about it? What did you think when they told you? Tell me everything.
Well, okay. I mean, you know, as many as, other people close to me, I didn't plan on returning.
You know, it's funny. I was wondering if you were going to talk about that. And I want you to. Like, I think that people should know what was like happening in the background and what your thought process was, because I think in hindsight, after the news is out, I wasn't sure if you'd want to say that, but you should.
I mean,
that has been your plan.
Maybe it doesn't matter at this point, but I had made a decision months ago after this past season. I mean, I needed to move on with my life. And this is before we knew like the show was going to be put on pause before any of that.
This was like after the reunion.
Yeah.
This was like in the spring.
Yeah. So, and I had talked to like our producers about it, and I told them, you know, my decision on that. So I mean, I felt personally ready to move on from the show. I felt like my life and where I was moving in a different direction. Mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, I was prepared to move on from the show. I was prepared. You know, I think it'd been a long time for like many seasons of my life. It was there. I lived many lives and went through so much on that show, but I don't know. I just got to a point where I was just like, I don't know that I can live and grow and be the version of myself I want to be on this show any longer. And as far as the show itself, I mean, I think I understand it. I think that the group and the dynamic and what makes the show that show would be hard to do because it was so like fractured at the end there, and many of us don't hang out. I mean, yeah, there might be some people that talk to this person, or these people hang out, or these two hang out, or these, you know, but as far as it being like a cohesive unit, it just doesn't exist anymore. So
now, like I said, I will be covering this Disrespectfully podcast episode here on my channel. I also want to announce that Disrespectfully will be on a new network come January 10th. Now, this comes as no surprise that Katie has been friends with Nick Viall. I remember when they even started the Disrespectfully podcast, there was talks of when Nick Viall was to start his media company that they would go over to his company. And they indeed are, because Nick Viall's Envy Media network will be launching, and their podcast will then be coming out on the Envy Media Network on January 10th. Katie did make a comment saying, "We know our podcast found a home with Envy Media after our first meeting with Nick." Maloney and Catherine said in a statement, "His years of experience paired with his vision and tenacity is undeniable, and we are thrilled to be part of the new family." So that is something new and exciting that Katie is looking forward to in her life, in her new chapter. And she's just been hanging out, going to parties. She was at a Sports Illustrated party on November 15th where she looked like she had an amazing time. And we also saw her at the Emmys with Ariana, and she's just living her best life. She has the sandwich shop, and she's doing her thing. Now, up next on our Wheel of Goodbyes is, of course, Scheana. You know, the girl who kind of brought in the flavor the very first season when we found out she had an affair with Brandi Glanville's husband at the time, and how we were all introduced to Vanderpump. Scheana, of course, went on to Instagram as well, like everybody else, and she made a post with a lot of pictures and a video. And this is what the post had to say. "The end of an era and the start of something new. I don't even know where to begin. Well, maybe first off, thank you to everyone who's checked in on me. We had one hell of a run. I never could have imagined while shooting the pilot for VPR that it would become what it has, nor go as long as it did. To the fans who've been with us from the beginning, and to everyone who joined along the way, thank you. Putting our lives out there isn't always easy, but every time one of y'all reach out to say our story resonates with you, made it all worth it. To our amazing crew at Evolution USA, Bravo TV, and NBC Universal, thank you for the experience of a lifetime. I will forever be grateful for the opportunities this show has generated and for the memories we've made along the way. We truly have worked with the best cast, crew, and been part of so many special moments in each other's lives. Cheers to the next chapter. The rest is still unwritten." It's really been an adventure for Scheana. I mean, she has changed so much throughout the seasons of Vanderpump. She's got married twice on VPR. She went through a divorce. We saw her single. We saw her having a baby. She's really been through a lot. And I knew something was up when everyone was like, "Has anyone checked on Scheana? Has anyone checked on Scheana? Is Scheana okay?" I was like, what's wrong with Scheana? Because that's like the inside joke with the VPR people. Like, Did anyone ask Scheana if this was okay? Which I did find something very interesting. Now, back in September, the Pink Pop Box had posted this to their IG, and it says, "And just like that, Scheana got a new dream. They're never calling, laugh out loud, she blew the audition." Which apparently on Scheana's podcast, Scheana had said that with her full chest that if Vanderpump Rules reboots rumors are true, that she deserves to be an executive producer. And then they put, "You read that right. There's no typos in that statement." So Scheana was already saying from September that if they were going to reboot this whole VPR, that she wanted to be an executive producer. I think she sounds a little bit like Sandoval there. What do you guys think? Now, right after the news broke that they were rebooting VPR, Lala and Scheana were on Scheana's podcast, Shenanigans, and they talked about how they both felt regarding this reboot. So I wanted to play you a clip from the podcast. I'm considering also covering this podcast. If that's something that you would like me to do, let me know down below. But here's the clip from Shenanigans with both of the girls and their feelings on the reboot.
Vanderpump Rules is being rebooted for season 12 with an all-new cast at SUR, like the Real Housewives of New York. Just, new season, new cast.
How do you guys feel?
Well, I mean, I have to thank everyone, you guys included, who have been checking in on me. Thanks so much.
I always check in on Scheana.
Yeah, no, a lot of people have been, so thank you. But, I mean, how are you feeling? I feel like this wasn't a shock to us. I think we knew it was coming, but then getting the call, it's a moment that I've been waiting for in not like a positive way, but like knowing one day we're going to get the call that Vanderpump Rules is over. It's not going to go on for 100 seasons.
Right.
No show does. So how am I going to feel the day that I get that call? And I felt at peace with it. I feel like if it was last year, the year before that, like I think maybe I wouldn't have been in the same place in my life. I don't know. It's mixed feelings. How are you feeling?
I mean, I've known that this was coming for a while. I think I knew the moment that I lost my shit at the finale of season 11. It just felt very final to me.
Yeah.
And there was nothing left to say. The story was done. And I think I've said that for quite a while. Like, there's no more story to tell with this group of people. So that's the moment, like, when Alex called me and I knew it was coming, but it was like, oh, we're here.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't exist as it once did. Horrible time, but there's something that sinks in where it's like, I feel this intense bond to my cast. They probably don't feel the same way. But I'm like, I'm not remembering any of the bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only remembering the good. I'm thinking of like myself as like a 24-year-old, like in the craziest of worlds, and getting sober on this show. So much of my life has been documented.
Like, you and I at least have that opportunity to keep our stories being told,
Group of like new, young, just like excited about life. Like, I want them all to fuck each other. I want them to have fucking meltdowns.
Yes.
It's like, just do it, baby.
Give it your
because
all.
there will be a day where you decide to settle down, have some kids. Maybe a couple of you may find yourselves in AA, and it's all fucking good.
Yeah.
So I feel a little bit differently than you feel, just because I know what this show did for my life.
Yeah.
And it completely changed it. And I'm so excited for another group of people to see.
It was going to be too hard to keep making the same show. I understand,
Totally.
your decision with that.
I mean, Vanderpump Rules, the cast was lightning in a bottle.
Mhm.
And the
Like
only
once in a lifetime kind of
once
thing.
in a lifetime. And the
Yeah.
only
True.
new cast members that came on and really actually stuck were myself and Brittany.
Mhm.
Oh my God,
And
that's a
James.
good point.
Because James wasn't there in the beginning.
But he was like the boyfriend, right?
End of season 2, we talked about him at the
I am
reunion.
for like these new Vanderpumpers. I'm like, you guys have really big shoes to
Really
fill.
big.
There
Like,
were so many authentic connections.
so many.
Now, there is one more clip from this podcast that I do want to play for you guys. And one of their friends asked them if they could do anything different, what would they have done different? And Lala admits that she should have done something different. And I give her a lot of credit, though their excuses seem to be excuses. But let's take a look at the clip.
If you would have known that VPR was going to end as we know it before you did season 11, would you have done anything differently?
So, no, I wouldn't. And I knew, I was adamant after season 10, I am not coming back to Vanderpump Rules. I'm on such a fucking high. And they were like, just one more season. And I was like, this is going to turn very bad. This is going to turn out very badly. I'm just letting you all know it's going to turn out badly. It turned out worse than what I prepared everyone for. Okay. So there's one thing that I would have changed, and it wasn't on camera. I wish that after the finale, after I lost my mind, that I would have called Ariana and said, I want to let you know that I said some really, really hurtful things. It'll probably be friendship ending. It was not my style. I can't even believe that I didn't do that because I'm so adamant about when I say things behind your back, I'm going to say it to your face. I still went to her show. I still supported her, all the while knowing that I said what I said. Because I think in my mind I compartmentalized. I was like, but that had to do with the show. I was angry at her for the show. And I wasn't even angry at her. I don't regret saying what I said. I regret not giving her the heads up and saying, I said this because of X, Y, and Z. I probably should have told you sooner on camera, but just giving you the heads up, this is going to come out.
Because you guys didn't see the end of the final episode until you were sitting at the reunion
with each other.
Right? No, and I knew that they weren't going to air it until the reunion. I got the call that it was like, hey, by the way, they're saving the last 15 minutes. And I was like,
but Ariana
great.
didn't get that call. And if she did, she didn't answer because she looked at me at the reunion and said, what the fuck? And I was like, you didn't know this was happening? Like, I knew this was happening. So I assumed everyone knew because I knew she knew.
Yeah. And obviously, I think a lot of people are like, Lala thought that would not air. And I'm like, no, we knew it would. Are you crazy?
You guys are
right. Yeah, they're going to come back.
Well, then that's where I struggled too with my loyalty to Ariana and Lala because I was there when she said these things. And I also didn't give Ariana a heads up because I'm like, well, this was said on the show and now the show is done filming and then we'll just go back to our lives and then we'll film the reunion. And I assumed before the reunion she would have seen it. I had no idea they were going to hold it until then. But that too, because I'm like, well, I'm not going to tell Ariana what she said and then have you be upset with me.
I appreciate you not telling her.
It wasn't my place to tell her because then that would have just caused an issue with us. The show was done that night. You know, what's the point of me telling her and having them fight after the show is already wrapped? It just wouldn't have done any good.
Now, the reason I say these are excuses is because we all knew from the trailer of season 11 that Lala had said this. And season 11 was really highlighted by the public because we knew when they were filming, where they were filming, and the paparazzi had followed them around all because of season 10 and all of that. So by the mid-season, we also knew that like their last episode was going to be in San Fran. And that comment came from the San Fran episode. And it's not like Lala didn't know because one of her first appearances for season 11 on Watch What Happens Live, they asked her about that comment that was in the trailer, and she said, you'll have to wait and see. But one of her red flags was when they told her that they weren't going to be watching the final episode until the reunion, that was her cue to talk to Ariana and let her know, hey, I said some not nice things, I didn't mean it this way, and explain herself, but she chose not to. I also don't feel like it's Scheana's place to be the one to tell Ariana, and that's kind of like pitting two friends against each other. But Scheana could have gone to Lala and said, hey, did you talk to Ariana about this? Not knowing that, hey, we're going to have to watch this during the reunion. At least made the effort to see if they had a conversation about it. Now, also seeing all the posts that they've all posted for their goodbyes, I do know that Ariana did comment on Scheana's post, and Ariana didn't comment on Lala's, nor Lala commented on Ariana's. And last I knew, they had unfollowed each other, or Lala had unfollowed Ariana. But speaking of friendships kind of dividing because of things like this, Brad, who is Ariana's best friend, was also friends with Scheana. And he recently did a podcast where he got to express his feelings towards how he felt regarding Scheana. And I want to give you guys a little treat and show you a clip of that right now.
But yeah, Scheana would definitely, I would say she was in that circle. But then that took a turn too, so.
Well, where are we today with Scheana? What is your relationship like with her now?
It was a lot more removed than it used to be. I mean, Scheana and I used to hang out all the time too. Like we'd throw on sweats and make dinner together, and we'd take trips and do this like all the time. I think it was hard for me to see somebody that loved and valued Ariana so much extend the opportunity for an olive branch with someone that hurt her. Mm-hmm. For me, I have a difficult time doing that. And I guess like you can't really fault someone for wanting to see the good in people, but in my brain, I was like, there's no repairing that. So, you know, she's on her own journey. But I think that strained some relationship, obviously, with her friends, with Ariana. I removed myself a little bit because it was uncomfortable. It was an uncomfortable space. Right. We actually went to Dan's bar, and it was actually really great to see her. And it was, honestly, I feel like it was a very like genuine, real space. Ultimately, like, there is a friendship there that always will be there.
Now, if you want to check out that podcast, it's on I Take Bravo Very Seriously. That's the podcast name and her IG name. Brad also spilled some tea on Rachel, and I want to bring that to you since this is kind of a goodbye to Vanderpump as well. So let's take a look at what Brad had to say about Rachel.
Did you have a personal, separate relationship with Raquel where you'd hung out alone?
I mean, Raquel had been around that group many years because of James. We had built a relationship with her as James's girlfriend.
Right.
And then when they broke up, you know, we kind of built a relationship with her as a solo person. So it was very interesting around that time to hear, you know, statements being said like, they're not my friends, I don't hang out with them, this and that. I have years of text messages and photos to disregard that statement because it's not true.
Did you ever end up having like a final breakup conversation with her?
No, I didn't with her. Ariana is so important to me. And, you know, at the time, all of them were friends of mine that are important to me. But when one of them intentionally does something to hurt and destroy a person, I don't know what that person could say to make me feel better about the situation. But no, we never had a closing conversation.
Well, just like we all thought, Brad confirming that Rachel and Ariana were close friends. Now that we got that out of the bag, though, I do want to update everybody on Rachel's new man, a little bit of what she's been doing, but not very long. So she has posted to social media that she's, you know, motor crossing and doing sound baths with her crystal bowls and all of that great stuff. She also got to see the SpaceX launch of Flight 6 and them catching the booster for the first time in history. But a couple of days ago, she posted the Holiday Road post, which showed her with her boyfriend and friends hanging out and checking out the festivities. And that's really it for Rachel. As I always say, I wish her the best, and I hope she's happy on her journey in life. Now, our next VPR goodbye post was from Tom Schwartz. He really didn't have a lot to say. He only said how the last 12 years replays in his mind, and he posted a video. And it was a video which I can't play the music because it's the theme song from Friends, and we all know YouTube does not like that. But I will play the video for you guys with its own little musical twist to it. Though I will have it linked down below because you should definitely check out this video. Now, Schwartz also did a electric car kind of ad on his IG, and in it, he got to talk with Katie, and I wanted to include that for you guys because he said a lot, so let's check that out.
What a time to be you.
Oh my God.
It's a big season of change for you.
I know. It's like, I don't know. In the last 2 weeks, I feel like my whole identity, I'm having a mini identity crisis.
Yes.
But it's been a great time of growth. I feel like my professional frontal lobe has just developed at the ripe age of 40. I feel, I don't know.
Welcome to Earth, Tom. The closing of the bar feels sadder to me than the end of Vanderpump Rules.
I would agree. I put everything, my blood, sweat, tears, like a lot of my money into that place. And, and to have it close, 2 years after we opened, it's really sad. For the record, I'm so eternally grateful to get 11 seasons with a TV show that revolves around my true friends.
Right.
Like, we all lived together, we all dated each other, we all more or less had sex with each other. But like, truly, that's lightning in a bottle. How often does that happen? So each season we got after, let's just say 5, was like, I'm free rolling on life.
What is the most important thing to you in a car?
It has a killer sound system.
Right.
That's like a big component for me.
You gotta have the sound.
Yes. It's like, it's Friday, you're going on vacation this weekend. It's like, you put on your favorite song, you're cruising on. No, you're not gonna probably ever be cruising on the 405.
You're going 4 miles an hour on the 405.
Wait, let's not ruin it.
Yeah, no, you're ruining the vibe. What was the moment where you realized, like, oh wait, like, I'm in Hollywood and I'm kind of doing the thing?
One of my favorite moments ever in the history of Vanderpump. Well, first of all, when I still lived in Florida, I worked for a distributor, wine and spirits, and I got my $3,600 bonus. And when I got that, I immediately resigned, put my 2 weeks in, found Tom Sandoval on Craigslist, and I moved to LA. That was an electric moment. But like, once the show got going, I remember we did this bar crawl. We called it the Vander Crawl in New York City, my favorite city on the planet. I don't know what I was expecting, but there was like thousands of people in the streets screaming our names. I felt like a Beatle.
Yes!
I felt like it was my Beatles moment.
It's pretty cool.
And it was so fun. It was one of the best events of my life. And it just, I've never experienced anything quite like that.
I love this electric moment, and I am excited for your next electric moment, the next era of Tom.
Thank you.
You're gonna crush.
I appreciate the vote of confidence.
Yeah, you're gonna crush. What a time.
Up next, we have, of course, Scumdival, the other Tom in the equation. And of course, Sandoval had to write a long goodbye post on his Instagram as well, along with photos and videos, highlighting his best attributes, all of that good stuff. But let's take a look at what he had to say and show everybody. So Sandoval says, "Where do I begin? I'm overwhelmed with so many emotions right now. The unbelievable series of events that brought this group together still blows my mind to this day. From a random meeting with Jax while modeling in Miami to responding to a Craigslist ad for another Tom looking for a roommate. Who would have thought that a stop along the way while chasing our dreams would turn into the cultural phenomenon that is Vanderpump Rules? We were unaware as to the effect that this show would have on our lives. The foundation of Vanderpump Rules was built on pure, honest, raw emotions, triumphs, struggles, and love that happened between a group of real friends and our relationships. As soon as we started filming, shit got real and never turned back. It's been a roller coaster ride, and you've been with us through every step of the way. To NBC, Universal, Bravo, Evolution, Lisa, Ken, showrunners, field producers, and members of their crew who busted their asses with us in the trenches, my fellow castmates and friends. Most importantly, to each and every fan, thank you all for believing us and being a part of this 12-year journey. It's hard to put into words what I'm feeling right now, as in life, so much has happened over the years. Some of my past decisions led to incredibly challenging times. from which I've learned valuable lessons and experienced personal growths. Despite the difficulties, I'm filled with gratitude for the learning experience and forever grateful for all the memories. Until we meet again, Sandy. Well, he got a lot of thank yous in there to a lot of people. I'll give him credit right there for that. And I hope that he learned something on this journey, like maybe don't sleep with your girlfriend's best friend, and maybe don't have an affair for 7 months behind your partner's back of 9 years. And, maybe if you bartend enough, you can own a bar one day. I don't know. I don't really have too many positive thoughts about Sandoval. I never really liked him from the beginning, and that's just my opinion. I could read on his face that he was just like a fuckboy from the beginning. I will say I did have hope that maybe him and Ariana would be together and she would change him, but you can't change a cheater into, well, a house husband. But good luck with that, Victoria, because now that's on you, girl. Now, before we move on from Scumdival, this just came out as of yesterday that Tom Sandoval splits with lawyer and he tells the judge that he will be representing himself in the Raquel Leviss court battle. Now, I will do another video with the documents, but I wanted to update you all on this because, in my opinion, this is the most stupidest thing he could possibly do. For one, the law firm that he was working with has been working on this case for months. Now, I understand he's not happy that his attorney filed a countersuit against Ariana, and then he made claims that he never agreed to that and all of that hoopla. But him representing himself, I just don't think that would be well advised. And usually in big law firms, there are other people that he could have represent him from the same law group. So I would rethink this if I was Sandoval, but hey, he's living his best life with Miss Victoria. Maybe he thinks he could be a potential lawyer too. But stay tuned for all of that because I will be going over all of the different court documents, the appeal that Ariana had put out, all of that good stuff. So stay tuned for more. Now, lastly on our wheel of goodbye post is from James Kennedy. He kept it short and sweet with one video and 2 photos, along with a photo with his statement. Unfortunately, I can't show the video because it is literally all the scenes he did during Vanderpump, and it's a great video, but of course YouTube will not like that. Well, more NBC, but they won't like that. But this is what he had to say. I can't lie, I'm holding back some tears as I write this. It's been a pleasure being a part of Vanderpump Rules and filling your TV screens with our lives over the past decade. I've dedicated my life to the show, and I'm forever grateful to everyone who tuned in. All of my dreams are finally coming true. This year, I played Neon Carnival, EDC, and Stagecoach. And I have a Vegas residency. And I have all of you to thank. It's been a wild ride, and I'm excited to see what the future holds. Although this is a bittersweet ending for me, this is just the beginning. Thank you. Now, I would like to say all of his dreams are coming true, but of course, while recording this, there was an event that happened, and James got arrested for DV charges. Now, before all of this happened, they were at Kathy Hilton's holiday party where Ally actually got to read Kathy Hilton's chart for her. And Nick Viall was also there, where he had seen something go down that he thought was very weird. And this was actually before the arrest charges were brought to light. So I'm going to play you that clip right now.
Well, one more story. So we saw James and Ally there. James crushing his DJ career.
At Kathy Hilton's?
Kathy Hilton's. Said hi, love James, love Ally.
Me too. I fuck with James, I fuck with Ally.
Took a picture. I hope James is okay with me saying this. James brought a friend. We met his friend. His friend seemed lovely. Ally and I were talking to some people like 15 minutes later. I'm the only one who saw this. Ally didn't even see this. Ally was immersed in a conversation with the other person we were talking to. And then James walks by. And then James turns around and he says to his friend, I forgot his friend's name. Let's just say his friend's name is Sam. And he goes, Sam, hold this now. And I was like, and his friend just grabbed the drink and James kept walking. And I was like, that's
the James Kennedy.
That was insane.
But you know what? That's the sober James Kennedy we all want to see.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
we want him to be we don't want him to be drunk to do. We want to be like, you want to do that? Like that's who you are, motherfucker.
I was like 10 minutes earlier, I met this guy who he introduced as his best friend, and then 10 minutes later, he was barking orders and
he's
just saying,
DJ James Kennedy, man. He needs his hands free.
Neon Carnival DJ James Kennedy.
You think this
hold
is?
This now.
Yeah, he's got to go do something.
Yeah, he was.
That's awesome.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I really felt like I saw something precious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saw something you shouldn't have saw, but you were happy you did.
And I was the only one who saw it, and everyone else was just like in their own lane. You know?
Now, it's been said that James was drinking at this party. I know that he is drinking here and there, but I like seeing a sober James, and maybe this will reflect to him why he needs to remain sober, and even having a couple drinks is not good. Him barking orders at a friend is not good, let alone, then that makes me think, what does he do with Ally? I worry for Ally. I really had a lot of high hope for James, and I really thought that he had changed his ways. Sometimes this happens, and hopefully this will open his eyes. Now, the police were called to his Burbank home at 11:30 p.m. on Tuesday evening, and it was regarding an argument between a man and a woman. After police determined that it was a domestic incident, James was then arrested on suspicion of misdemeanor DV. James has been released as of Wednesday morning on a $20,000 bond, and as of right now, the case is currently under review pending formal charges. We cannot make any claims to what has happened because there has been no comment from James or Ally regarding what happened yet. And even if it was a domestic argument and something might have happened, they could arrest somebody with suspicion to DV. Honestly, we're just going to have to wait and see. I am going to keep my eye open for the police report and any news that follows anything to do with this. And I will keep you all posted. I just really hope that Ally is okay. And I really hope that they both can work on this if it is something that they can work on. I don't want to see her in a situation where this could happen again either, though. But again, we don't know all the details, so I can't even say this is what happened. And I stress to you all to not make assumptions regarding what happened until we have the facts of the matter. But clearly, from what Nick Viall did see at the party, that's just an indicator of maybe what could have happened. I do know that there has been a lot of posts going around regarding this, especially from Kristen Doute and Jamie Lynn all over, who is a friend of a lot of VPR cast members. Jamie had took to her IG story and she posted these posts. The first one says, "I don't even want to show his face, but this is why I had to distance myself from so many people who stuck by him, posted with him, supported his shows because we were all given the same information that goes way beyond this report. It's also why I had a hard time podcasting, as I was scared to say too much, but also disappointed in myself for self-censoring to protect friends' jobs. I never wanted to be the reason a show got canceled or friends lost jobs. But now that the show is done with that cast, I feel I can say more. Ethically, as a fierce supporter of DV victims and a survivor myself, I tried to teach other women around this that it's not okay to bring an abuser around the very women he abused. I also had conversations with NBC Universal and Bravo producers about how this abuser should not have a platform. It sickens me to see so many women unknowingly supporting him. I hope this will change the minds of those who gave him the benefit of the doubt and wrote the multiple women off as not reliable. Always believe the victims. I hope this is rock bottom for him and he gets the help he needs. I hope his victims who chose not to say something in order to get more TV time realize they put other people in harm. And I hope the one woman who has been carrying this trauma for years while friends still bring him around will be vindicated and share her story. Now her next post says, "No, it wasn't okay to have him DJ your birthday parties after you knew. No, it didn't matter if it was years ago or if drinking was involved. No, it didn't matter if he was funny or charming. No, it wasn't okay to headline him after you knew just because he could bring in crowds. No, it wasn't okay to post a photo with him the day after you said, 'Now I know this, I will have a hard time filming with him.' No, the victims were not at fault, crazy, and did not provoke it. No, it was not okay to go support his shows and document it after you knew. No, it was not okay to put money above ethics." And the next post says, "And production knew years ago." And her last post was from Kristen's stories, which Kristen just highlighted the article and put finally. But Jamie's says, "Kristen Doute speaks out following James Kennedy's arrest." All she said was finally. But Jamie also added, "In case you didn't already know, I 100% support and believe Kristen Doute. She deserves so much better from so many people around her. I will always have her back and always be an ally." Now, this is like a hard situation for me because I really do feel that just watching him through the years, I could see change in him, but clearly there is much more to this than we all know and realize. I never thought that Kristen was lying about the James situation. I also knew that their relationship was very tumultuous. They were both very aggressive towards each other. And granted, it's not right regardless. She's absolutely right. And it's very unfortunate that the world that we live in, people do put money over ethics, and it's just sad. There's nothing, though, we can really do about it but speak our opinions. I'm also the type of person that even if somebody does the worst shit possible to me, I still have faith that that person can become a better person if they choose. And I feel that way about James. I feel that if he gets the help that he needs, he does very intense counseling and trauma therapy, because clearly he has trauma if he is now an abuser. I feel that he could make a difference for himself, for Ally, for everybody, even his other victims. Because clearly Kristen was a victim of James. There's just so much that we don't know, and this is why I can't wait to get the police report so we can go over that with each other and discuss this even further when we have more information regarding what happened. And I do hope that Kristen comes out and tells her story one day. And I hate even saying this, but we also have to remember that there's always 3 sides to a story. One person's, the other person's, and somewhere in the middle lies the truth. I'm not saying that she's not a victim. I wholeheartedly believe that there was some kind of trauma and DV between Kristen and James. And that was not okay. It's not been okay. And I don't know, maybe I'm just being a little biased because we don't have all the facts of the matter at hand. And I'm just waiting to see what comes out, what the police report says. I like having all the facts at hand so that way I can know. And that's all I want for you guys, is to have all your facts before you make judgments on something that you don't know exactly what happened. And I hope that Kristen does come out with her story so we can better understand just what she went through. Because her not telling her story, yes, has now caused other victims in this situation. But I don't want to end on this note. I do want to end on a much happier note. So I do want to move on to someone that was on the VPR cast that now is on the Valley, who we were just talking about as well, Miss Kristen. Now, on the day of all the Vanderpump goodbye posts, Kristen had posted with people that she is pregnant. The post says, "These truly are the best days of Kristen Doute's life. The Valley star is pregnant, expecting her first baby with fiancé Luke Broadwick. A rep for Doute confirmed exclusively to People. Sharing a few sweet photos, Doute says that she and Broadwick are overjoyed to be starting a family together. I did also see they did a gender reveal, and she is having a baby girl. There seems to be a lot of girls in this Vanderpump crew. And who knows, maybe we'll have some VPR kid shows. Not like kid shows, but like VPR kids growing up. Like growing up with the Kardashians kind of a thing. I don't know. But there's definitely much more to see here, and I'm definitely excited for the Valley Season 2 to see Kristen's journey, because I know she's been trying for a very long time, and I'm so happy that she's finally made it on her journey. She's engaged, she's pregnant, and she's starting the family that she's always wanted. But that is it for this video. I know it was a long one. We had a lot of goodbyes to go over, with Schwartz and Sandy's closing, then the announcement of the reboot of a new VPR cast, and all of the old OGs giving their goodbyes, and just updates on where everybody is in this journey. But before we go, I have 2 quick clips for you. I have a video from No Filter with Zack on who he believes is the true OG winner of the VPR cast, and a fun little parody that I found and thought was hilarious. But I hope you all have a lovely day, and make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're not yet subscribed. I have a lot of amazing things coming your way. I'll be going over the Disrespectfully podcast, the Shenanigans podcast. I'm going to be putting out the Mama Still Got It videos, along with some new things. I heard Olivia Flowers from Southern Charm has a new show on YouTube that she's interviewing a lot of Bravo people, and I totally want to bring that to you guys and go over it with you, along with so much more. So if you're not yet subscribed, get subscribed, and make sure your notifications are set to all. You don't want to miss anything coming up. And remember, keep shining bright, and don't let anyone dull your shine. Now, let's go on to the closing clips.
All right, I got a Vanderpump Rules hot take, and you might not like it, but let's discuss. I get it, Ariana's having her moment right now, and Godspeed, but the real queen to come out on top is none other than Stassi Schroeder. Hear me out. 3-time New York Times bestselling author, 7-figure podcast deal, sold out tour with a spinoff coming to Hulu. Not a shared spinoff, her own spinoff. All this after they fired her and tried to cancel her. They dug a hole 6 feet deep. She clawed her way out of it and came back stronger than ever without the show. She built her empire when the whole world hated her. Ariana, bless her heart, has the whole world loving her post-Sandoval. She got cheated on and suddenly became God, as Lala says. Stassi Schroeder built her empire after being buried 6 feet deep. The whole world hated her. All of her deals got canceled. All of her managers dropped her. She kept her home and she kept 2 babies fed. 3 New York Times bestselling author. This is Stassi Schroeder. She did it without the show. She never came back to the show. She didn't need the show. She still doesn't need the show because she will still remain relevant well beyond the show. Read it and weep. And I get it. Everybody gets a trophy. We love them all. But Stassi is still queen. Period.
Lisa, I'm so glad you called me over, dude. I have so many ideas for season 12.
Well, why don't you just take a seat?
On your lap, or?
No.
Just checking.
Oh, well, I have some, not so favorable news.
Yeah, it looks like Ariana's not coming back, and I'm like, really, really sad about it.
Not only her, Tom.
Fuck, Maloney
No,
too?
none of you are coming back.
What? Lisa, this is really, really unfair. My girlfriend's gonna break up with me. She really wanted to be on the show. Sup, pussy? What's the matter? You get voted out of Traitors episode 1? Shocker. Lisa's recasting the show, dude. Good. Nobody wants to see your crusty ass do screamotherapy anymore.
No, James, you're not coming back either.
Lisa, please!
Please, boys, you're both giving me the ick.
You guys heard the bad news too, huh? Schwartz and Sandy says no more. But hey, at least we have VPR though, right, guys?
Schwartzy,